This is Jason Bass of the Weekly Freeporter reporting live from Rockaway. I'm taking pictures of the beach area that was devastated by Hurricane Sandy. We've heard a lot about the Rockaways, and I felt like I would take a journey since this is my hometown, the place that I grew up, went to school. So I'm just giving you, a view of the devastation. You can see that there's sand. There's sand up to Beach Channel. If anybody knows that, that's like pretty much where I am, like 2 blocks away. And we're just gonna go up to the boardwalk because I heard that, most of the boardwalk is gone now. So I'm just gonna give you that view and that perspective. Unfortunately, I don't have enough gas to get to Breezy Point, which is all the way at the outside of the island of Rockaway. So I'm not sure if we can go up there. Now you can see like how there's uneven, and how some of the boards have been ripped apart. So I'm gonna be very easy and cautious as I go up here. There's an eerie calmness to the ocean than what happened a couple of days ago. But I'm here just filming. This is Beach 86th Street. My grandmother lived on Beach 73rd. That's where I practically grew up, so for much of my earlier life. So this is totally a different view than what I'm used to. See how there's mountains of sand everywhere. So I'm going to be very cautious. Gonna pull out. It's the old handball courts that my cousins used to bring me to, and we used to play handball. And this is the boardwalk, or what was left of it, where it's really supposed to go, all the way up to 101st Street or 100, I want to say 25th. So this is as far as we can really go. I'm gonna just take a walk down to the beach and be very careful while doing it. Just catching some photographs for the article. Very wobbly right now. You can see that people are just walking around. Just walking all around trying to make sense of everything. I'm gonna be very, very careful. This is dangerous what I'm doing, but it's whatever. It's for the viewer, the audience, to just get, imagine yourself in this situation. I heard a lot of stories today. Practically hung out with my cousin Denise and some family members. There are people who are living in darkness right now. A lot of the elderly are not leaving because they don't really feel comfortable being in shelters. And most of them, like to just stay to where the places they're familiar and comfortable. Like home is very important to them. So most of them are living without heat. I know for the most time that I was chilling with my cousins that I was getting a little bit cold, even with a hoodie on. So It's really not a good situation to be in right now. Walking on the beach now, as you can see. And most of this just got ripped apart. So we're just gonna go as far as we can, you know, so we can get a good picture of what is actually taking place. I'm gonna keep the camera to the place where it's most devastated, so you can just get an idea. And we're just gonna go as long as possible. If I can, I will try to make it to Breezy Point at another time. It's just that the history of Breezy Point is just like, it's really a secure community. It's one gate where you go in and out. Each street has its own gateway. So it's just not really been an open place for people to go in and out. And I just don't want to waste time and gas, the little gas that I do have, really going and checking that part of Rockaway out. And there's a military aircraft, as you can see. Sorry for the sudden movement. As you noticed earlier, there's a lot of military that is helping out. And at this time, I would just like to thank all the volunteers. You know, a lot of people came from parts of Brooklyn, parts of Queens, to really, really help out. So right now, I'm very thankful, very inspired. You know, they have braved to come to some of the hardest projects. I'm not gonna lie. Edgemere is very tough. I don't even like the times when my mom used to go there to check on the school children. I really don't like it. But some of these kids just had enough heart to really go up in there. So I have to say, I'm really, really appreciative of all their help. It's very inspirational. And, you know, we're just doing what we can. Right now, I'm just getting on the boardwalk, you know, the handball courts, and just taking a photograph of this. I don't know who the hell John Corey is. Maybe I'll find out by Googling. So this is a handball court with fences that was just ripped apart. As you can see, most of the surface is uneven. And we're just gonna continue. You know, this used to be a beautiful playground. Beautiful. And this is stuff that is ripped apart right now. I can just tell you something from what I've witnessed. It's like people are just trying to survive with what they have right now. So if you have internet, you are definitely blessed. If you have a home to sleep in, you're blessed. If you have water, heat, and electric, you are blessed. If you're complaining on Facebook about what Mayor Hardwick or anyone is doing, then we have to ask the question, what are you doing? You know, are you going out to volunteer? Are you going out to help your family? Sometimes we spend a lot of time thinking and venting about the wrong things when we can actually be productive and help build our community of Freeport or rebuild other communities that have been devastated by this hurricane. And that's just my 2 cents. I don't like to really throw my opinion out there too much, but that's how I kind of feel about the whole situation with people who are going on these Facebook groups and complaining about what Mayor Hardwick is doing. I personally don't like the man as a politician, but at the same time, I like to help people. And if I can get an opportunity to help people, I prefer to do that than to point fingers at people. Just taking a picture of the American flag. It's one thing. We're continuing. I mean, this goes on for pretty much 20 more blocks, I want to say. So we're just continuing to go the full length of the route because there's been pictures that I've seen on YouTube of this, but not many videos really of the devastation that happened to the Rockaway area. There's a lot of seashells, obviously, that washed up closer than they normally would. You know, so I'm just trying to give you a good view of the area and how it's really been affected. I think you're tired of the beam, so I'm gonna go on the other side. And I want to thank Allen AME Church, you know, for allowing me to volunteer. You know, I always love to help people, as I said before, and I thank them for the opportunity, you know, to help my other community for Rockaway. So thank you, Allen AME. I want to thank, you know, State Senator Malcolm Smith for organizing the effort to feed and provide clothing and just support for those who are devastated by Hurricane Sandy. I want to just zoom in a little bit over houses that were flattened. You can see it's a lot. This is how devastating it is. This used to be a bike path, it seems like. I'm moving carefully around it. And this is just all of it. You know, look how far we came. We went further to where the handball courts were. And this is all of it. You know, we're gonna move further along so you can get the full picture of how far it does last. You see a lot of people taking photos, a lot of people who are in disbelief, a lot of people who grew up here and never really experienced something like this. About it that I really appreciated volunteers. Everybody just was looking to help immediately. What can they do? Finding any and every opportunity to get down here. Some came in cars, some brought food, some brought clothing, anything they could to really help out. And I feel like that's the kind of attitude we need in order to rebuild our community and really just show a neighboring spirit. I think criticizing, you know, while sometimes valid, it really leads us to be more divisive when we can easily show effort just to help and organize as much efforts as possible. This is strangely silent, to be honest with you. Coming down here, it's usually busy. It's usually a lot of cars. I wouldn't ordinarily be able to walk in the street like this. I'm just stopping for a bit. A lot of things have been destroyed. A lot of beams ripped apart. A lot of fencing. A lot of lighting poles down below are bent, as we will see as we get closer to this lamppost. All I have to say is really count your blessings. If you have power, if you have a home to go back to, if you have electric, if you have heat, if you have food, you know, you're in really good shape than some people I met today, including some family members. I don't mind eventually for us to criticize and really critique whether, you know, the help that was provided, but right now we have to do everything we can to really help our neighbors and everybody else who's in need. I understand I'm in Rockaway today and not in Freeport, but I'm just doing what I can to really help people. I did offer to help any and everybody who's affected by this hurricane in Long Island. So if anybody needs help, just hit me up on the weekly Freeporter and keeping the Freeport Festival on the nautical mile. Or if you know me personally, just hit me up. Tell me what's going on. What can I do to help you? This is all the wood, all of the boardwalk that has been blown and washed ashore and really destroyed. All the wiring, and all of this is going to be a major cleanup. Billions upon billions of dollars. And I'm sorry, I'm a Republican, but Romney's focusing on the wrong thing when it comes to wars overseas when our people need help. Hopefully this event helps change his mind of where to put our money. That's all of the boardwalk, all of the chairs, all of the bike paths. You know, we're not really looking good. And it's ironic that we want to spend money on bombs to really destroy other countries as it is and make it seem like this when we can put that money to actually rebuilding our own. Understand this is supposed to be mostly reporting, but I'm angry by what I'm seeing right now. I'm frustrated. I prefer this side because it shows you really the destruction that has happened. All of this has been washed up to shore. All of this has been pushed back. Slowly move to another set of handball courts. They're split open, cracked. Cars moving really fast. Here's two trucks that are loading trash right now. An idiot that is trying to go to that, go in front of the truck. I'm gonna just go to the beach area. This way we can move around and you can just still capture some of the stuff. Moving carefully around. Wow. Yep. And we made it to the beach. Again, this is Jason Bass of the Weekly Freeporter. I'm currently filming Far Rockaway. We started at 86th Street. I'm not sure what street we are honestly on right now. Must be close to the 90s. I heard this lasts into the 100s, so that's where we're going right now. I'm just filming all of this so you can really see the devastation. Stepping on seashells as we go. There's going to be a lot of rebuilding to come to the Rockaways. And from my experience from Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans and the relief effort that came afterwards, hopefully relief happens soon. I know it's going to take a while, but I just hope that once, you know, people's power come back on, that they don't forget about this. That we don't really tune this out, that it did happen and it did really affect many people's lives. That's what I'm worried about, just based upon my experience with New Orleans, where a year or two later we forgot about it, we moved on, and it became another footnote of devastating natural disasters. So now we've moved past the area where they were really picking up and removing some of the boardwalk, as you can see in the distance with all the trucks there. I'm gonna try to make my way back. I may have not made it to the gym, but I'm telling you, I'm having a workout just climbing over these things. Wow. Whoa. Maybe just easier to go this way. I know this is going to probably be like a 20-minute long video. But I really just wanted to show you a continuous shot of the devastation rather than small clips, just so you can get the full effect of how long the boardwalk has been wiped out and the devastation that really happened to the Rockaways. This is all the sand. Another handball court. Let me try to make it up here. And there's a pipe burst. You can see full of water. Back. As you can see, a lot of the wood, a lot of the fencing, a lot of the pipes just totally destroyed. Sand crossing to Beach Channel, which is a block and two away. This is entirely the devastation that happened to the Rockaways. And I know I keep on using that word, but I can't really think of any other synonym to really describe it. You can see in the distance over the standstill, you know, a boardwalk that washed a street away into a set of apartment buildings. Let me make my way closer so you can really get a glimpse of it. Be careful. As you can see right now, here's the boardwalk. washed up. From there, let me pan around. Across the divider, across the street, and right there. You can see right there, it still has a seat. This is just the devastation that happened to the Rockaways. And this is what usually happens to these oceanfront properties. I'm gonna move a little bit slowly. You can see from a little bit. How far the sand goes. And again, this is usually a busy pathway that people use. But it has an eerie silence about it. You know, a girl or volunteer, a female volunteer told me, you know, that when she went to Canal Street, it was just eerie silence about Manhattan that she never really experienced before. You know, usually if you go by Canal Street, it's very crowded, very loud, lots of people. But it was this eerie silence that she was just discussing, you know, in the darkness. I have to say to be careful out there because there's a lot of looters, a lot of people. That's why I personally escorted my cousin Denise. Because there are a lot of people who take advantage of these situations and people leaving their stuff and belongings and take them for themselves. I know some women who have even been attacked for their valuables. There's another photographer taking photos. Right now I'm moving slowly, as you can see, only because I'm walking on top of sand, except for I'm not on the beach over there. I'm actually near some apartment buildings. And try to move to the other side. There's a big puddle right there, so I'm gonna be careful and walk where he's walking, because that would be the smart thing to do. See, the traffic lights are out. This is gonna be lots of months, many months to clean this up. Returning to my other point, I'm just gonna say, be safe out there. There are a lot of people sick people who will take advantage of the situation and try to attack you or really loot your belongings. You know, if you live in any house, you know, that you had to desert because Hurricane Sandy, you know, going and staying with family or friends in higher ground or safer ground, make sure you are accompanied back. Again, a lot of people take advantage of these situations. A lot of people. Just stand still and take another photograph. Yeah. Sure, she's lucky. May not get in his shot. Gonna go around. Oh my God, and it's muddy. Just gonna go around. It's really the end of it. This is the devastation of Hurricane Sandy in the Rockaways. He's fortunate to have a Jeep. As you can see. Devastation. I'll walk around. And again, there's a lot of sand. Seems like right now, nowadays, we're facing the hardest times, the most challenging times, as a country, as a nation, as even a community. Finally made it to the other side. Are you?
Crazy out here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Guess I won't be biking on the boardwalk for a while. Used to love that.
Yeah, definitely. Did you grow up around here?
No, I grew up out west, but I've lived in Queens for the past couple of years.
Oh, okay.
Come to the Rockaways every summer, so.
Okay.
And sometimes in the winter too. I photographed a lot out here, so
Alright.
it's a very important place for me.
Mm-hmm. I used to grow up over here in 73rd Street.
Oh wow.
I moved out to Long Island, but I still have a lot of family out here.
Yeah, it's you look around it and it just doesn't seem real.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, with a lot of the boardwalk that's moved past, you know, the street, the divider, and the other street to make it to the other side.
Yeah, and all the sand has gone on the beach. It's like the sand's clear over there by the subway.
Yeah.
It's just
It's really crazy, and a lot of people without homes, a lot of people still living here without water and electricity.
Yeah. I could be lucky that I have power, but I got to go through Sandy twice because I was in Dominican Republic last week.
Okay.
So I went through it once down there and then once up here, but yeah, it's crazy looking at all of the battleships that they have lined up out in the ocean.
It's a lot of military presence everywhere.
Well, it's going to take a long time to get this back to normal, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
We're going to keep heading up.
Yeah, safe journey. And our journey continues. He's definitely right. It's going to take a lot to really rebuild this community that's been affected by the hurricane. I think that's parts of the boardwalk. This is just a mile of dirt. I think it's best to go to the other side. And as you can look, like a lot of apartments are throughout this waterfront area. A lot of people still living here. Some people who have moved to safer ground with family, friends, and loved ones. But a lot of people's lives are in these apartment buildings. Wow, there's water on both sides. So I think it's best to just look to see how far this goes. On the way back, I'm going to take more photographs just to give you guys a glimpse of this devastation. I'm going to share them on the weekly Freeporter, as well as keeping the Freeport Festival on the Nautical Mile and my own personal Facebook page. So, I'm gonna continue on the beach, it seems like. Probably been out here close to 30 minutes now. Not getting this shot. Okay. I'm gonna keep on going. Okay, and there's water over here as well. Getting a nice workout. At this time, I would like to thank the weekly Freeporter for allowing me to do this. I would like to thank Greater Allen AME Church. I'd like to thank all the volunteers that showed up. One thing I can say about these buildings that is also scary, as I experienced seeing my cousin, is a lot of them have no power, and therefore a lot of them are dark. A lot of them are dark, a lot of them scary, people banging on the doors. It took a lot of heart for the volunteers to go in each apartment building to give food and supplies to those in need. I'm just gonna go over this water. Okay. As you can see, we've been a long ways. But we're continuing our journey to the end so you can just gain an understanding, a full understanding of how much devastation, not just an overview by a news chopper, but actually the experience of walking the entire length of the devastation to the boardwalk in Rockaway. All of this is going to have to be rebuilt. And the question is always, a cost-benefit analysis. Does it make sense, especially if these hurricanes continue? Last year we had Hurricane Irene. Does it really make sense to rebuild? That was also the question in New Orleans, so that is not really a far-fetched question. Right now, I'm going to be honest with you, it's been an exhausting journey recording this, walking the sand, walking in other parts just to record this story for you guys. I'm glad if you stuck with me. If you fast forward to see what part was really good, I thank you for just paying attention. If you watched the entire way, thank you. This is unsafe, but I'm just gonna go on it. Okay. Really uneven. Really feels weakened down. It's not really something that is repairable. All these benches, even though they're in good condition, in an uneven boardwalk, is gonna need to be replaced. And it's shaking, it's wobbly. I Got my bearings though, and I'm just showing you the devastation. And look, I'm lower. This is supposed to be right here, so it was pushed all the way back, and it stayed in one piece. Stayed in one piece. And I'm really supposed to be up here, you know, not really down by the ground. This used to be the skating rink where people rollerbladed, played hockey. I think we're closing in my old school, my first elementary school of 225 in Queens. Gonna just navigate around here. This is just a beautiful part. You know, I love coming to Rockaway, especially in the summertime. I love just chilling out, reading books. I'm just going underneath here, going to the other side. It saddens me just what has happened to it. Feels strange to think that the sun is out. I'm happy. But at the same time, it's kind of eerie that only a few days ago, you know, a tropical storm devastated this area. I see a lot of seagulls. And I think we came to the end. As you can see, that's my former school of 225. And this is the entire length of the boardwalk. You know, so that entire length. I'm not gonna record video of us going back, but we walked the entire length from 80th Street on to approximately 100 and something. And this is the whole boardwalk. So I thank you for tuning in. This is Jason Bass with Freeporter. And this is the hurricane damage to the Rockaways. And again, Jason Bass of the Weekly Freeporter.